Tech tried to line it up, and he was like, I don't debate y'all. Y'all too disrespectful. Aboriginal Power won't even debate Sean because he's too disrespectful.
He is though. No, he really is though. I can't really like you, bro. You cool, not a coincidence. I actually chop it up with but niggas that come off too heated and disrespectful, like I said, I'll debate you, bro. But we gotta get in the ring first. If you want to be disrespectful like that, at least disrespect me in the ring, bro.
Oh, God, bro.
Let's start now, bro. Can you disrespect me in a cage, bro? Like, I'd rather just do that. Then we go straight from the cage. I mean, put your ice on the way to the motherfucking computer, and we'll debate directly after that, nigga. Shit.
That's why I don't need these. Fucking with the nigga and shit. You feel me? Like, it's like, wait, bro, talk like that, man. We gotta get face to face with you to talk to you like that, my nigga.
Yeah, Peanut. You feel me? Go ahead, I got my brother already. Peanut, what's the word, my brother?
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, but lucky, let me say this, man. First of all, I'm an older brother. I'm young in spirit because I stay in shape. But I'm older. I deserve respect. Don't lie on me. You're not going to get nowhere lying because that's what's going to make you fall face first. Second of all, I'm well known in the Pan-African community. I'm not nobody new. You're younger than me. You don't know this. I didn't put in work and expose Rob Bourne, Sue Tech, any of them people over there. They know it deep down inside. And I'm gonna be long-winded. I'm a Moorish American. I already had back and forth with them dudes. They erased videos. I'm not running from anybody. Don't ever say that stupid shit again. Third, and last but not least, I'm not losing no debate to no Pan-African. So don't ever say that shit again, famo. And that's it. Appreciate y'all, man.
You heard it. If Sean P want to debate, tell him to debate the champ over here, right?
Cusack wanted her. So this like it's a pecking order. It's a pecking. So Sean want you, and Cusack want him. We say PMF ain't on his
no problem. There's no problem, man. Let's set up a Cusack debate, man. I don't like him anyway.
Okay, so I love that son, brother. I love that warrior mentality.
I love to tell Cusack. Tell me. There ain't nothing. My champ always in the chat. Album pop in. We'll set a topic. We'll set a date. Make it pay-per-view. We chop it up behind the scenes. I get their contact. We make it work. You know? Right. He ain't ducking no favors, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. He do this over here on y'all channel, but then when we get in other
hey, all right, I will block your ass, nigga, because I'm well known for disrupting them chats over there. Nigga, stop fucking lying, nigga. You a goofy, nigga. I would never let a lame ass nigga around me in my face, clown.
You gonna block me?
It ain't no time I ain't ever been on the Pan-African channel and made my impact. Stop lying. I'm a real man, bro. Stop lying, fam. Don't do PNF like that.
PNF, he trying to trigger you, brother. And
the fuck up.
But listen, he did that to me, talking about, oh, word on the street, I'm ducking from John P. I've never even had but one conversation with this little disrespectful motherfucker.
Oh, okay, yeah, he a little hot. He like,
so he like,
Peace and blessings this evening. It's your boy Sean P in the place to be. Like the show, share the show, tell a friend, we're live. I ain't even hesitating. I'm getting straight to it. So I appreciate everybody for tapping into the stream today. I know it's a little delay. I was supposed to get going about 20 minutes, 30 minutes or something like that ago. But Yeah, man, I got out of work late. Yeah, Dane. I got off work late, Dane. And I'm home. So let's deal with it. What are we here for? Well, first of all, there's a debate tomorrow between PNF and YK the Truth. Are we African American or Moorish American? There's some other intricate questions in there for this debate. I don't know what they're trying to set out to prove. But in order to get your ticket to the debate, you have to go to YK the Truth's page, and in his description of his videos or whatever, he tells you how to get your ticket. His channel is on the line. One of his channels is on the line, so that's the emphasis of the debate. However, he's going to need a lot of people in the building to support him because the Abos, after not a coincidence, won the debate last time to whoever he debated. They have to turn around now. They have to turn around and avenge the loss. So I want to get into a plethora of things, and I don't even care. Spoiler alert. But let's see what got us here. This type of energy pissed me off. YK the Truth had the video up, but he took the video. He made the video private. I don't know why, but it did make it private, and it looked like them suckers is still live. But hold on 1 second. Let's go.
Open fire. This gonna be easy. One of my best ones, hands down. This light work.
So this is the weigh-in, and the title of it is "Who Are the So-Called Black Americans?" It also says African American or Moorish American. So how should we identify, right? This is them. Let's get it. Now, I'm gonna let PNF talk because I think he's gonna be talking the whole entire time, and he says a lot of stupid stuff in this discussion. But more importantly, there's just a little bit of what I want to play here, and then I'm gonna switch gears.
I just hope you ready, boy. Hope you ready.
Hey man, well, big brother PNF, I know you ready to get into it. And before we get into the actual conversation with PNF, I know you had something you wanted to kind of slightly mention about what's going down in Chicago right now, dealing with this immigration thing. I know we're gonna get right back into the face-off. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you for that, because as a Chicago, and this is
enough for us on the homeland against immigrants. See how things work. So shout out to my brother PNF. But yeah, let's get right back into this, man. PNF, are you ready for this Saturday, brother? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. And like I said, I don't underestimate nobody when it comes to research. I mean, to the debating. So, like, I don't want to say this light work. You know what I mean? I'm just not that impressed. But what's motivating me is the fact that we can go in on this Moorish. You know what I'm saying? We can go in and really get information we don't really know about it. This is an opportunity for me in the Indian and Aboriginal community. So I'm really into.
He called himself a Moorish, and then he also said Indian Aboriginal community, right? And he's talking about going in and doing some old other shit. Listen to him. Listen to this bullshit.
When it comes to research, I mean, to the debating. So, like, I don't want to say this light work. You know what I mean? I'm just not that impressed. But what's motivating me is the fact that we can go in on this mortgage. You know what I'm saying? We can go in and really get information we don't really know about it. This is an opportunity for me in the Indian and Aboriginal community. So I'm really enthusiastic about that. Not debating no Pan-African, because we know the Pan-Africans don't bring nothing to the table. What they do is do verbatim research that they learn from their English masters, right? And they relay it back to us.
He keeps saying it. They learn from their English masters. Who the fuck are you learning from? Excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen that are under age 18. Now, I know you got YouTube and you already know some of these words, but for real, who does he think he is, and who does he think he talking to? The disrespect of this dude.
It's like it's a reality, and I want to make that. I want to point that out and make it clear. That's what they do. They are agents for that side of the world. You feel me?
Agent.
So I'm happy to be doing that. The information y'all about to get is gonna be something y'all ain't accustomed to in this conscious community. So yeah, it's going down.
So now we're about to get information that we're not accustomed to in this conscious community, as if people who follow the Circle 7 Quran and the teachings of Noble Drew Ali haven't already been debating and defending their bullshit since 2015 and before that. So it is 2023. He's about to come with some new age scholarship that we have never seen before. But peep game, he's gonna tell you.
Yo, I find it funny that he's trying to win the crowd, but if you go to his channel, you will see how he really feel about you guys and Miss Sister Betty. I mean, he got more videos dissing y'all than I do, and I probably got one video talking about this channel. So don't let him fool you thinking he for y'all when he not. He gonna try his best to win you over, but just know when you give him a vote, that means you're a Moor and not an Indian. By default, that means you're a Moorish American and not an Aboriginal. Just by voting for him and his Moorish rhetoric, this is what you're doing, and you don't even know it. So let him act like he on your side, but just, I ask you humbly, go to his channels and see how he feel about this community. Don't let him fool you. The boy is slick. He's a snake. Go see how he feel about Big Bat. Go see how he feel about Sister Becky. Go see how he feel about Hawk School.
Man, listen, people feel.
We already know, nigga. We already know.
He love us. That's my brother, PNL.
But that's his tactic. So let him use it, y'all.
You'll rather have somebody that really hates you than to go sides with a Pan-African. That's crazy. But
well, you know what they say: the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't know.
So I guess you were more at the end of the day then. I guess y'all Moors. If y'all going by his rhetoric.
So if y'all vote for him, I guess y'all Africans. If we listen to his logic.
Nope. I don't mean y'all African because it's about Moors. I'm going to show you that you are African and not a Moor. So nice try, buddy. Nice try, buddy. I'm going to show that you're a fake Moor and you don't really practice what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches. I'm gonna prove it that you're fugazi, bro.
So by his logic, he's a fake African because he don't practice what the Africans practice. And I'm gonna show you out of his own mouth why he don't practice what the Africans practice.
But being an African is not an ideology. What you have is an ideology.
So what is that ideology?
So you gotta follow your ideology.
So what is the ideology? So what's the ideology? Give us an example. Give us an example of the ideology, man. What's the example?
Of your ideology?
Yes.
You're talking about the one that you did. Let's talk about
one example.
Hold on, let me give you an example. If you could let me talk, I'm gonna give you an example.
I'm waiting.
Like the fact that you gotta say you are Moor and you're not a Negro and you're not black, and you gotta have a nationality, and then you gotta believe the Moabites from the Bible. That's an ideology. That's a mindset. Now, there's Africans all in West Africa. They don't all practice the same thing. They don't. So for you to say, well, you don't practice like an African, it's so many different cultures in Africa. But no Drew
Yeah, you going in and out.
Going
in and out.
He had two that you have to follow, and you can't cherry pick being a more. You want to pick and choose. Well, I'm not going to do this. You like a Muslim that eat pork. Well, I don't want to. I'm gonna pray, but I got to eat my swine, my brother. You fake, and I'm gonna show the world that you a Johnny come. I'm gonna show the world that you're a Johnny come lately. You just like one of these little new sects that's in Chicago that don't really practice what the prophets and the OGs, the real OGs teach. You just fake, bro. And I'm gonna show you. You're fake.
I can't wait, brother. So let me ask y'all a question. I got a question for a couple of y'all going into this debate. Y'all mind if I ask y'all a couple questions?
Yes, sir. Bro. Like he been running this whole entire time. He been running. But I want y'all to see Ricky running. And you're going to see me holding his shotgun. Because that's all that boy do is run. Nothing that.
Okay. Well, PNF, that same question go for you.
Yeah, I don't have any discrepancies or fear going into the debate. I don't even feel like the audience being biased towards Moors or Moorish is going to be a factor. I
Pause. So he says it's not going to be a factor. I'm not even going to get to the point where he's going to say something that where he talks about he's bringing out this information. So I'm going to pause right there. I'm going to bring y'all to an old video 5 years ago where Ishmael Bey, a Moorish brother, former member of the Amin-Ra squad, Ishmael Bey, former member of the Amin-Ra squad, who we've been knowing since 2015 when he did his DNA test that he was 91% West African, showed his DNA on a live stream, ladies and gentlemen.
You claimed, you told him.
Hey, brother, be quiet, brother. I'm going to eject you and let him teach this DNA lesson in a minute.
Okay, I see it now. Good.
Okay, so it shows 100% of the DNA. That's the second part. And then the first part shows the first part. So you can put them right side by side if you like. And what it will read is...
Pause. Now, you can't really see his power screen, his PowerPoint, because it's not big enough. It's not on full display. But he's teaching Moorish on a Moorish channel. He's on Tariq Bayes, or whatever his name is, the Moorish dude from Baltimore. He is on his channel 5 years ago, teaching them about fucking DNA. In his teachings of DNA, he shows his DNA. He is 91% African. The other 9% is European. The 80-something% of his DNA is West African. His name is Ishmael Bey Muhammad. There's no future in fronting. It's on the screen. Let him go.
You claimed, you told him.
Hey, brother, be quiet, brother. I'm going to eject you and let him teach this DNA lesson in a minute.
Okay, I see it now. Good.
Okay, so it shows 100% of the DNA. That's the second part. And then the first part shows the first part. So you can put them right side by side if you like. And what it will read is, let me just go to the live screen on it. I'm on that I hear my email.
I hope he says
what it reads is, it says Ishmael Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 86.2%. African hunter-gatherer, 3.
Pause. Say it again for us, Ishmael Bey. You are a Moor. You are a Moorish American. You follow the Circle 7 Quran. Your teacher is none other than the noble Jew Ali, the same motherfucker that PNF claims to be a student of. Let's go.
My picture's right there, 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91 9.6%, West African 86.2%, African hunter-gatherer 3.4%, broadly sub-Saharan African 2.0%, European 6.
Say it again for the people in the far back Ishmael Bay. Are you an African or are you a Native American, Indigenous, Aboriginal, Moor? Because you wear the fez. You learn from the Circle 7 Quran. Noble Jew Ali is your prophet. Ishmael Bay, are you fucking Indigenous Aboriginal?
Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 86.2%. African hunter-gatherer, 3.4%. Broadly sub-Saharan African, 2.0%. European, 6.5%. British and Irish, 2.1%. Scandinavian, 1.3%, et cetera, all the way down. So,
ladies and gentlemen, none of his biological makeup says Moorish or Moor, because this shit don't exist. None of it. None of it. 9-0 zilch. Zilch. Zilch.
it's the full 100% of my DNA. With every quantum what you were asking. Hold on. It's also breaking down the countries highlighted on there and the parts of the country that are highlighted on there. Like I always state, I don't claim the Moabite part because as you can see, it's blank for me. It doesn't show that I'm from the Canaan or the Moabite, so I don't profess that part of the history because that does not pertain to me through my DNA, which is what I always stated. Also, on the second email that I sent to him is the full chronological breakdown of the ancient DNA. So if you go to the ancient DNA of when it was sent, I showed that it was sent to my email. When I opened it up, I sent that to Taharka. He showed it tonight. When he opened it up, it breaks down where the Morocco part that we were discussing earlier.
He ain't got no DNA that takes him to fucking Morocco, ladies and gentlemen. None of that shit said Morocco. Ishmael is trying to that's the way that Ishmael is trying to associate himself to Morocco. But he has his haplogroups on the screen. So if anyone wants to check those out, it's E1B, 1A, something A1. I can't see it. That's on the paternal. His maternal is L2D1A. He's 91% West African. 8A1. 91%. So he is at odds with his old brother. I don't care what else they talk about in this video. How could you be a Moorish American with 91% West African or African DNA? So let me go back here just for a second because I want to hear this bullshit.
I feel like it's going to be about delivering the information and interpretation and comprehension, matching up timelines. Like, let me give you an example. When the prophets say you have the old time religion, you were practicing the old time religion, you will have to line yourself up with the religion they were practicing, not modern Islam. So in many instances, they'll say you're not practicing this and practicing that, but they have no idea what they was practicing in the old time religion. So I'm going to be pointing out stuff like that where Pan-Africans just lack comprehension and they'll just look at one word instead of the key clues to fully comprehend things. I'm gonna make y'all understand they don't know about a lot of stuff. Yeah, they don't innovate. They're teaching the same things they've been teaching for the last 100 years. They are the only people in all of the community who don't teach about the old world Masonic buildings in America, the temples. They just blatantly ignore it. So
you see what I'm talking about? What the fuck does that have to do with our identity? The debate is called, who are the so-called Black Americans? Are we African Americans or Moorish Americans? Why in the hell is you trying to talk about Masonic? And then you said old world shit. Nothing in America is old world. All this shit is new. There's nothing old or ancient about America at all. You talk about we've been teaching the same thing for 100 years. No, nigga. We have not. We have been progressing the movement forward. We have stood on the shoulders of our ancestors and took their teachings and updated it. You are the only one that is prevailing to persuade us that some kind of way that quote unquote Pan-Africans are doing something different. But brother, I want to know, how the fuck do you overcome you claim to be a Moorish American? What the fuck is that when this Moor, who is also a Moorish American, is claiming ties to West Africa by the way of his DNA? Now he's superimposing Morocco on his shit, but in all totality, he is from sub-Saharan West Africa. He did not show his admixture in its entirety. And that's the reason why this dude, Queef X, made this video. Because he caught him. He caught him trying to do the switcheroo on his shit. We all know that. So how is it that your Moorish American brother, who believes in the noble, honorable, noble Jew Ali, claim his ties to Africa, but you're gonna say that we Indian, indigenous, aboriginals of America? Bro, you have got to stop this monkey, donkey, bull crap. And Oregon just lost the Pac-12 championship and a shot at going into the playoffs. So let's go back to the nonsense.
So what I want to do is paint this picture that these guys have to be sleeping a coma, retarded, or they have to be these agents that is responsible for putting out all this.
Sleeping in a coma, retarded, and we have to be agents. Why do you keep on taking shots? It's only you and YK talking right now. Why do you keep taking shots?
Misinformation.
All right, I got another question for you guys. All right, that was a good answer. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Drop them fire emojis. Like I said, these two brothers are going head up December the 2nd, man. December the 2nd, 5:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So my next question to you guys, and this question is going to run adjacent. Is there any doubt that the people in America are not either Moorish or African? Is there any increments that could be a case with this? And this is for both of you guys. I'll let YK answer it first.
Yes. The people that's in the indigenous people that's in America are not Moors, and they're not, African.
All right. The next question, the same question go to you, brother PNL.
I didn't really understand his answer, but I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna say there is no doubt with majority of the population of the Americas that they know they are more. We're gonna get to the definition and the total meaning of more and Moorish, but there's no doubt. Now, is it a smaller population of people who may be taught and misclassified? Yes, but I'm gonna show you that people consciously are aware of being more Moorish, etc.
I think that's proficient. Shout out to you in the building. Brother Hawk School, did you have any questions for the brother? I know you were Stu and you heard Hawking. So did you have any questions for the
So everybody that debate, I'm buying a ticket. But yeah, that's who I think that's gonna win.
Okay. PNL, who you got winning this thing?
Who is Lucky debate next?
Lucky is going up against Cosmic Cow.
Cosmo Cow. Okay, I'm not
Cosmo
gonna.
Cow. The conversation is Lucia, excuse me, genetically closer to modern Native Americans?
Okay, yeah, I think Cosmo gonna win because the science is there. The actual facts is out there. And truth win. And then we got Big Dog Philly on the hunt. And then we got rising females. Like this month is very judgmental because people know that we like to argue. These niggas out here spreading that verbatim English curriculum, nigga. We gonna chase these motherfuckers up out of here, nigga. Once and for all.
What is verbatim English curriculum? I'm lost. What the fuck is that? That doesn't even stand. What is that? Why is he superimposing that on people with evidence?
Oh, nigga. Black power. Nigga.
That's a dope ass impersonation, though, bro. You got that shit.
Hey, so you said that the indigenous peoples heard, and like that when you heard, and what's crazy is you said it just like Lucky said it, which is crazy. Which I'm not even gonna give too much. That's crazy. But I think that's gonna be a good debate. Cosmic Cow, Lucky Guzman. It's gonna be good, man. I think it's gonna be good. If Lucky, I know Lucky's a crafty guy, right? He's a crafty fella. And he's gonna try to slick his way on in there. But I think it's gonna be good. I don't know if Big Brother Hawk back in here with us. I'm gonna ask him how he feel, who he got.
Tribe.
What's going on?
I'm riding with America, nigga. I got my flag on right now, nigga. I'm riding. Who riding with America? And I'll tell you who I'm voting for.
Hey, who riding with America?
This crafty man. So they will go up there and they will try to put us in North Africa with a definition. They will say, oh, North African, the Greeks. The Greeks called them the Moors. And they will take this definition and this spelling and it will say M-A-U-R, right? Right? The Moors, North African, Black Berbers, etc. Then when we come over here to the Americas, showing the similarities in our lingo, right? And our spellings, the various more ways we spell it. They'll say, nah, son, nah, you can't do that, son. You can't do that. But they'll sit up here and take an M-A-U-R word for the Greek definition and put that on us. But then when we come over here and find the variations in America spelled similar, showing how ancient we are, no, you can't do that. You can't say Americans is Moroccans. You can't say Mario is Moreno is more because it don't spell the same, son. So I want y'all to have your eyes open for all that hypocrisy.
So let me ask you a question about that.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No, we having a conversation. So let me ask you a question about that then, right? If that's, let's say that's the case, right? So if Morocco means America, why do you say Moorish American? Wouldn't that be like saying American? You an American?
That's a cold-blooded question. That's a cold-blooded question. That's a cold-blooded.
That makes sense, bro. Hold on. That's an easy body, though.
That's the smartest thing this nigga ever said.
And that's not smart because I'm going to show y'all how y'all lack comprehension. I'm better than y'all. Now
make it up.
Look, I'm going to show y'all how y'all lack comprehension.
All right, okay, cool. I'm gonna be quiet. You ready? You asked me a question. I'm better than you. So anyway, we know who Morocco is. Moroccans are Morocco. This is another way of saying God. We know exactly who Morocco is. Morocco is a Buddha. It's one of the Buddha avatars, right? So we understand Morayu and Moriah means God. So as a descendant of the Moroccans, we going back to the gods, right? Right. So now we're descendants of gods. We know in our form right now that we're related to the gods, but we ain't top flight like the gods. We know we the offspring of the gods. So saying Moorish American is not saying a double negative. It's showing you exactly why and how to use the word. So when we're looking at Moor and we're looking at Amaru, we're looking at the fact that Muru and Morocco mean the gate of the gods, and America mean the land of God. You understand? So saying ish, we put it in that perspective.
The meaning of America means the land of the gods. Where did you get that from?
Ish is going to mean son because it also means husband. So if more means God, is that the husband of God? No, it don't make sense because when you look through our history, you always see Moor with his mother, or Madonna and son, Mary and son. So now we is able to put two and two together. That
what the fuck is this? The Black Madonna ain't got nothing to do with Moor.
Okay, if Moor mean God, what God is it? It's Mary, Mother God. So we're
what? Moor means Mary, Mother God. Mary, Mother God.
Letting you know more ish, right? Of God. Where is God? God is everywhere. It's not no particular location. So they're gonna try to say, okay, if Britain is Britain, Spain is Spain, where is more? Where is more? We can look at it two ways. America is the land of hold on. America is the land of God. So by saying, hold on, bro. It ain't even that.
Let them finish. I'm gonna let you get your slight rebuttal in. I got you.
I got to break this down. This is a serious word.
Take notes. Yeah, I want y'all to take notes. You ain't got to cut people off. Take notes. Take your notes and respond properly. That's going to be one of the key points. That the flow of rebuttaling in this next debate. I think it's going to be fire. Let's go.
Yeah, we don't got to rush into this, man. This the face off. So they're going to try to put us with the ish of this, of that. So where will more be at? We've already established that Amaru Muru, Moro means God. So America is the land of God. So my ish is pertaining to God, who was all through here. And water is another name for God. It's an element of the gods. It's considered God. So check this out. When we saying more,
the fuck did water become God? Man, listen, bro. Fuck it. I can't take no more of this shit. Let's go. I can't do it no more. All right. The Moorish Science Temple of America. This deals with Fatih Ali Abbat. I want y'all to pay close attention to this doctrine. Scholars of African American Islam usually view the Moorish Science Temple of America as a peculiar religious sect. This is understandable given the treacherous terrain that must be traversed to understand the Moorish Science Temple of America, henceforth MSTA. Early source materials on the movement remain scant. Its religious creeds, tangled in esoteric eclecticism, and their followers' narrations bewilderingly conflict one another. Yet it remains vital to critically examine the MSTA given its significance as one of the earliest Pan-American Islamic organizations in the 20th century, one that influenced other communities it came into contact with. Thus, Edward Curtis IV, a doyen of African American Islamic studies, has advocated the need for re-examination of the MSTA through a more critical lens of cultural history and away from the straitjacket of it being a deviant heretical group. This chapter takes up the challenge by analyzing the MSTA at the interstices of hagiography and heriography and historizing how the MSTA as a genuine spiritual community reinvented and restyled its orientation over the decades through the ebbs and flows in its quest for respectability, relevance, and salvation. Noble Drew Arley. Most literature on the founding prophet of Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Arley, has either treated his murky origins curiously or hagiographically exaggerated and romanticized his roots. Recent fortuitous discoveries of Drew's pre-Moorish documents have enabled historians to reconstruct a more empirical account of the Moorish prophet. While tampering with Drew's legacy could open a Pandora's box with unforeseen circumstances that would bring no discernible benefit to contemporary Moorish American sheiks, the MSTA latent deserves knowledge of its genuine historical past, unencumbered from crudely constructed myths. Ladies and gentlemen, the Moorish American document is crudely constructed of myths. Newly unearthed census and city records disclose the dogmatic MSTA narrations on Drew's genealogical roots were precious. Drew Ali was born Thomas Drew, January 8, 1866, Norfolk, Virginia, 1898. He was adopted by James Washington Drew and Lucy Drew, an African-American couple residing 411 Prince Avenue, Norfolk, Virginia. As a teenager, the illiterate Drew worked as a common laborer, rural farmhand, and wharf longsman, shoreman in the southern port city to supplement apparent wages. However, like many black Norfolk laborers, the Drews were paid little and could not catapult themselves into the black bourgeoisie class. As such, Drew explored new prospects in other cities, plying his trade first as a porter in Richmond, Virginia. Screw all of this, because I don't want to talk about him. We already know his shit was built on myth. We said that. Now, swiftly he emerged as a black Newark's leader, faith healer amidst the crowd and competitive religious marketplace of seers, mystics, palmists, professors, and princes who taught mystical science since the turn of the 20th century. So Noble Drew Ali, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go back because I skipped this part right here that is important. It says, for the latter, Drew attired himself in a loosely fitting multicolored gown, covered his head with a brilliant purple hood, and cosmologically redesigned himself as a Professor Thomas Drew, the Egyptian adept student, an East Indian from Virginia, who ate nails and curved blind shoulders. His vast clientele sought him for a wide range of services, including crystal gazing, advice on love affairs, Eastern wisdom such as the forgotten 18 years of Jesus Christ's life. Swiftly he emerged as the Black Newark's leader, faith healer amidst the crowd and competitive religious marketplace of seers, mystics, palmists, professors, and princes who taught mystical sciences since the turn of the 20th century. At this juncture, Drew was still unfazed. So you mean to tell me at the turn of the century, he still didn't have a fez? He was unfazed, ladies and gentlemen, which means he was unaffiliated to a Moorish lineage. Process that. The so-called prophet was unfazed. He was a palm reader. He was in the mystics. He was reading global balls. He was a magician. He was all these other things. He was an Orientalist. He ain't even a fucking fez yet. He was unaffiliated with the Moorish lineage, but had already fashioned himself as a true Orientalist Muslim. Nevertheless, during this phase, Drew fell afoul of the law several times and was arrested for illegally peddling medicine. So now he was fucking Sabi Jr. Was Sabi before Sabi. Despite trumpeting messianic claims of his ability to bend prison bars, yeah, this was in the Newark Evening News. Hold on, because I don't want nobody thinking that people be making shit up. Because when True Storian said that to you motherfuckers, y'all thought that he was crazy. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can get the news clipping. What the one that would say he bending balls. I'm gonna show y'all this screen right here so y'all know what I'm looking at. Where do I want the bending balls at? I ain't gonna be able to see it. Negro, yada 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 yada, yada 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 yada, yada 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 yada, yada 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 yada. Nope, that ain't it. Where is it? Man, listen. Anyway, but I'll find it and I'll come back to it. Trust me, I'm gonna find it for you. Now, Newark's federal penitentiary successfully quarantined Professor Drew physically in the late 1910s and the early 1920s. Yet, prison walls failed to totally circumscribe Muslim teachings in Newark. As another enigmatic figure took Drew's position to further fan the flame of esoteric folk Islam. So now he's teaching folk Islam to the community. He still is not wearing a fez by the 1920s. With Drew's religious preachings in ambiance, Abdul Hamid Suleiman, a Sudanese immigrant, filled the mantle of charismatic spiritual leader serving Newark's colored community. Suleiman founded an extremely successful Canaanite temple, a Black Mohammedan Messianic movement that operated in various cities, including one of the corner of the bank of Rutgers Street, Newark, a mere 3 miles from his residence. In April 1923, the popularity of Suleiman's Canaanite temple spectacularly nosedived when Suleiman and his assistant Muhammad Ali were charged and arrested by the Supreme Court of New Jersey for carnal abuse of a follower's child. Amidst the leadership vacuum, Professor Drew reinvented himself as a religious prophet by deliberately suffixing the powerful surname Ali. We in the 1920s. He still ain't got a fez. That concomitantly connected him to 3 important sources of authority in the minds of Black urban masses: Caliph Ali, the image founding father of the Masonry and son-in-law of the Islamic prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah; Deuce Muhammad Ali, an inspirational Pan-Africanist Garveyite intellectual; and the incarcerated Muhammad Ali, local organizer for the Canaanite Temple. As Canaanite Temple number 1 had legally been incorporated in New York in May 1924, Drew embarked on the evangelical crusade elsewhere under a new Moorish banner. So now we in 1924, and he's got a new Moorish banner to restructure Suleiman's satellite temples and travel to several southern cities before establishing his headquarters in Chicago in 1925. As Drew's sense of Islamic consciousness was stirred through the embodiment experience of the Oriental street healers and the Canaanite Messianic esotericism's Drew understanding of Islam was imagined yet authentic when contextualized through the lenses of its gestation. By corollary, Sunni skeptics who uncritically vilified Drew for deviating from Muhammad ibn Abdullah's finality of prophethood have somewhat misdirected their accusation, since they have overlooked that Drew's adoption of the titles noble and prophet were borrowed from Messianic circles and not ever intended to be an affront to Sunni orthodoxy. So now you get this shit. So through the MSTA followers believed in the historical process underpinning the establishment of the MSTA as religious organizations was forged along uncomplicated linear trajectory. This was a facade. Rather, Drew's choked MSTA between 25 and 29 underwent capricious and erratic shifts as the founder experimented and cobbled together various ideological fragments of his highly eclectic movement. The MSTA's mutable vagaries were clearly reflected as his Moorish movement underwent a series of name changes. Pause. This is 24 and 25. He done finally made himself a motherfucking Moor. He ain't went through shit. Who was his teachers? Who did he look up to? Who raised him up in the ways to become a Moor? It wasn't Suleiman. It wasn't Suleiman. So he was just riding coattails and waves. And he been playing on people ignorance for years. He was a con man. That's what the fuck he was. They don't want to tell you that. He was a con man. He been conning people for years. So he's the charismatic leader with all this information that no one else has. And all of a sudden, because he can speak a different tune and he can say a different thing, now he is now the Don of all Dons. He is considered a fucking prophet. He's a goddamn liar. Drew formally incorporated the Moorish Temple of Science on November 29, 1926 as a civic organization at 3603 Indian Avenue in Chicago, Illinois to uplift fallen humanity and teach men and women to become better citizens. Structurally, Drew was inspired. Who was he inspired by? Garvey. Hence, modeling the MSTA along Garveyite lines of auxiliary units like the Moorish Manufacturing Corporation, the Moorish God and Sisters National Auxiliary, Drew perspicuously linked his incipient organizations to Garvey's by embedding the popular UNIA leader in the trope of John the Baptist, a forerunner who prophesied Drew's advent. Theologically, Drew looked to Abdul Hamid Suleiman's Canaanite temple novel blueprint of Black Islamic Masonry, though Drew substituted Suleiman's Mecca with Morocco. Pause the fucking screen. So, these Negroes pushing this Moorish bullshit who follows the so-called prophet named Drew Ali, Timothy Drew. Timothy Drew, as he always has, been a swift con man, borrowing from everybody else's shit because he ain't been through nothing, reconfiguring himself as times change, decides to borrow from Abdul Hamid Suleiman. In borrowing from Abdul Hamid Suleiman, he substituted Mecca, which was the teachings of the motherfucker from Africa, the teachings from this guy, with Morocco. So now he got the whole Moorish American feds heads running to Morocco when they should have been running to Mecca. Yes, Public Enemy, Drew Ali was indeed reading palms. But the fact of the matter is that he changed the word from Mecca to Morocco And now he got all these Negroes who claim that they've been studying these doctrines and living the ways of a Moor, didn't even come to the conclusion to honestly correct their teachers' teachings and advance their doctrine. See, this is what happens when you put your doctrine in conflict with history, with historical narratives, with the evidence. That's 2 shots. Now, as the main listen, though Drew substituted Suleiman's Mecca with Morocco as the main cosmological center of spiritual power, Drew appropriated Suleiman's taxonomy that bifurcated Islam for blacks and Christianity for whites. This unique Mohammedan Messianic nexus premised on romanticized Pan-African and Pan-Islamic genealogical identity anchored the MSTA ideology. May I stop? Ladies and gentlemen, Drew borrowed from an African, flipped the name, changed it from Mecca to Morocco, still pointed to Africa, was inspired by Noble Jew Ali, separates religion from blacks Islam to whites Christianity, and then turns around and prophesied and preached and taught this romanticized version of Pan-Africanism and Pan-Islamic shit. So when PNF comes on a platform and he starts to utter this dumbass shit,
because it also means husband. So if and that's not smart, because I'm going to show y'all how y'all lack comprehension. I'm better than y'all. Now
make it up.
All right, okay, cool. I'm gonna be quiet. You ready? You asked me a question. I'm better than you. So anyway, we know who Morocco is. Moroccans are Morocco. This is another way of saying God. We know exactly who Morocco.
He don't know. Listen, when you know someone is about to make up something, listen to how fluent they speak. When he's getting ready to get in his creative bag to keep his lie alive, this is what he does.
You asked me a question. I'm better than you. So anyway, we know who Morocco is. Moroccans are Morocco. This is another way of saying God. We know exactly who Morocco is. Morocco is a Buddha. It's one of the Buddha avatars, right? So we understand Morayu and Moriah means God. So as a descendant of the Moroccans, we going back to the gods, right? Right? So now we're descendants of gods. We know in our form right now that we're related to the gods, but we ain't top flight like the gods. We know we the offspring of the god. So saying Moorish American is not saying a double negative. It's showing you exactly why and how to use the word. So when we're looking at Moor and we're looking at Amaru, we're looking at the fact that Muru and Morocco mean the gate of the gods, and America mean the land of God. You understand? So saying ish.
Pause. I gotta pause it right there. Because we all know that he just made that shit up. The teachings of Noble Drew Ali. This is what YK the Truth was professing. He says, I'm going to show you that you don't follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. Because the teachings of Noble Drew Ali is premised. Listen, it says premised on a romanticized Pan-African and Pan-Islamic genealogical identity anchored the MSTA ideology. So the ideology of the Moorish American Science of the Moorish Science Temple of America's ideology is anchored on the identity of pan-Islamic genealogical and pan-African romanticism. Period. Point blank. Let's continue. So in compiling his main religious scripture, the Circle 7 Quran, which has been refuted, debunked, and buried numerous times, Drew leveraged on his experience as an Oriental Asiatic scientist in Newark as a fodder. Pause. Let's read the footnote since it's right here. The term Asiatic is a nuanced, racist, religious term often found in African American Muslim communities in the 20th century. For example, the Nation of Islam, 5%ers, and the Moorish Science Temple of America. While Asiatic groups occasionally claim ties of affiliation with Asian communities, such as the Japanese, Indian, Filipino, Vietnamese, in some cases, the term Asiatic is divorced from Asian. See the Asiatic Black Man in African American Orientalism, Journal of Asian American Studies. What is it? Page 4. 43, 198, 208. Alright. In chapters 1 to 19, Drew's Quran, he drew heavily from Levi Dowling's The Aquarium's Gospel of Jesus Christ in 1908, an esoteric theosophical text emphasizing Christ in itinerant travels and encounters with other world religious figures, symbolizing humankind's quest for universal spirituality. Pause. In the paragraph prior to that, it says that Drew appropriated Suleiman's taxonomy that bifurcated Islam for blacks. So if Islam is for blacks and Christianity is for whites, why is he borrowing from Levi Dowling's Aquarium Gospels of Jesus Christ and emphasizing the shit that he's emphasizing in that? Because he's cooking. So for chapters 20 to 44 of CSK, Drew included sections from Onto Thee, I Grant, published by the ancient and mystical order Rosicrucian groups, propagating moralistic, puritanical lives to achieve happiness and liberation in their worldly state. That is another problem. Why is that another problem? Because he is drawn upon Rosicrucians, Madame Blavatsky. He is heavily influenced by Europeans, but yet PNF on a live stream says that we're Europeanized and we are the ones who are just teaching the European way. But several instances we have shown you in just a couple of pages, y'all. We only a couple of pages in, and we got a way to go. How Noble Drew Ali is borrowing from all these other white people. While Drew was aware of mainstream Islamic tenets from Ahmadiyya Muslim literature produced out of the South Wabash, Chicagoan evangelical censors from the Sati Majid, a Sudanese missionary, the Moorish leader warily but pragmatically steered clear of Islamicizing his movement. So hold on. He claimed to be this Moor. He claimed the Islamic way, but he is out here steering clear of Islamicizing his movement. Why? Because he was maintaining hesitant to embrace of Orthodox Islam at best. Instead, Drew favored a metaphysical disposition of Islam based on universal principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and equality through a conversion to Islamism, where neophytes swapped Christianity and blackness for Moorish American nationality, symbolized by taking a surnames of El and Bay. This is why you get the L's and the Bays in the communities, ladies and gentlemen. They were neophytes. They swapped their Christianity for blackness, for a Moorish American nationality. So in order to be this whole bullshit about nationality, that's where you get your L's and Bays. Hell yeah, he made it all up. Not a coincidence. Motherfucking con artist crook of the year. PNF in the chat arguing with you while he talking to goddamn YK the truth. I heard the bullshit off YK channel. Yet the path towards forging a monolithic pan-national movement was fraught with uncertainties. In January 1928, Drew and several aides traveled to Havana, Cuba to attend the 6th, look at where he go, Pan-American Conference to represent a nascent community. Nevertheless, prospects from successful national conventions were hamstrung by a series of temple fiascos. Between April to June 1928, leaders in Pittsburgh Temple No. 5 and Richmond Temple No. 6 were arrested for practicing bigamy, unlicensed medicine, selling sedacious teachings. As authorities raided the temples, Drew retreated to Mexico. On his return, convened a special meeting to legally rename the movement of the Moorish Science Temple of America. On the 21st of May, 1928, to shield against allegations of conspiratorial subversion. So, ladies and gentlemen, the feds raid because they selling phony medicine. Remember, he was selling the same phony medicine before, but he used this shit to sell the phony medicine. What is he doing? He hustling. He hustling a form of religion, a belief in practice, and instilling hope in black people as a con man to get them to invest in his bullshit. All the while, he's still doing some dumb shit. So he runs to Mexico. And then he renames his shit. So the metamorphosis into a more patriotic-leaning organization was completed a month later as the MSTA was formally reincorporated as a religious organization on the 20th of July, 1928. That not only taught loyalty to the nation and the deepest respect of the law and order, but also dismissed notions of pilgrimage to some other country. Following Drew's desperate organizational reshuffling, he traveled to Arkansas, Philadelphia, and West Virginia, visiting the congregation to revive flagging temples and appeal for financial assistance. To amplify his reach, Drew placed monthly articles in the Chicago Defender advertising an impeding Moorish conclave featuring a parade led by pilgrims decked in Eastern regalia and updates of economic accomplishments. The efforts bore fruit, such that by August 1928, Drew churned out his first edition of the Moorish Guide newspapers. Eventually, the momentum climaxed at the MSTA's first national convention, spanning 5 days from the 15th to the 20th of October 1928, marking the apex of Drew's ascent as a respectable national religious figure, as thousands of devotees from 17 temples in 15 different cities turned out. In turn, Chicago's politicians and businessmen gravitated closer to Drew. Attracted by his mesmeric influence over his members, Drew, who had endorsed a candidacy of African-American city alderman Oscar DePriest during the convention, contributed to the latter's achievements of the first person of African descent from northern states to serve in the House of Representatives. Why is Noble Drew Ali proud of an African? Why is he endorsing an African? Why is he endorsing the candidacy of an African American? In February 1929, Drew urged his followers to successfully elect Lewis B. Anderson as alderman in the Second Ward. Paradoxically, the MSTA exponential growth of 7,000 neophytes within a year proved too exhilarating for its own stability. As the MSTA ranked in huge revenues from membership fees, newspaper subscriptions, and sales of medicinal products, this lured in shady characters who cultivated ties only on association with adventure, fortune, and optimism. Amidst the accusations of financial embezzlement, lavishness, philandering, and secessionist intrigues, Drew extricated top brass sheiks in Detroit, Chicago, and supreme business manager. This triggered the first Detroit Temple gunfight on March 12, 1929, wounding 2 Moors and 2 police officers, and then 2 days of heinous assassinations of the former business manager. Following a slaying, police officials raided Moorish temples, arrested Drew, and hauled in other leaders for questioning on charges of being an accessory to homicide. At this juncture, the Chicago Defender radically revised their portrait of Drew from an authentic religious figure to a menacing charlatan. Duh. Still, faithful Moors rejected the demonstration of their prophet like they did with York. More credibility instead of demanding the police release Drew. Though attorneys secured Drew's release temporarily on bail, the prophet passed away suddenly on the 20th of July, 1929. In his home with tuberculosis, bronchopneumonia, suspending criminal investigations and leaving bereaved followers despondent, Noble Drew Ali's elaborate funeral service, orchestrated over a few days later in 1929, proved to be the final occasion when the different Moorish sheiks, governors, and adepts were united in grief. Let me skip ahead. I want to not bore y'all to death, but this is a synopsis of who Drew was, how the organization was built, and how unstable the foundation in the organization was. They were a mist of charlatans peddling fake medicine and spewing rhetoric all over the place. In the conclusion of this particular article, the gentleman says something very unique, and I'm going to get to it. So I want to show it to y'all real quick, because I ain't finna sit here and just keep reading about this bullshit ass more shit. Look at that. Paper terrorist. He called them motherfuckers paper terrorists from 1975 to 2000. The proactive Moors became paper terrorists. Y'all know what that mean by paper terrorists. We ain't got to do this. We ain't got to do that. We ain't got to register cars. We ain't got to get licensed. We ain't got to do, we can get our own license, our own, yeah. Paper terrorist type shit. He says here, in the 90s and 2000s, Moors, a synonymity with the unbridled paper terrorism, returned, where Moors claimed immunity from American laws owing to an imagined Moorish sovereign status. This phenomenon now rooted from nefarious leaders, surreptitious pseudo-Moorish teachings. In the mid-1990s, Malachi York and the Ansarullah communities, alchemic transmogrification into Moorish cultic movements, the Yamasee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation and the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors introduced the bogus notion of a tax-free Moorish haven. York's ideas was fetished further by Veridasi Turner, a dreadlock Louisiana-based Washita empress who spuriously sold her followers gobbledygook Washita documents ranging from driver registration plates, registrations, birth certificates, and passports, promising to insulate holders from being sued and taxed. In the 2000s, the advent of the internet. Listen, in the 2000s, the advent of the internet. Here we usher in PNF. The cyber Moorish prophets brought such insidious doctrines to a much wider public audience. In particular, Taj Tariq Bey, a Harlem-based Moor, have extensively used the online pulpit of websites and YouTube sermons to propagate his Moorish sovereign doctrines. Mainstream Moors have lampooned Tariq Bey for confusing Moors and infuriating authorities, but sadly, such fallacious teachings continue to gain traction among the Moors and non-Moors. Obviously, of Drew's insistence on MSTA, members obstinate for legal statutes, usually desperate for escapist out of financial ruin. These naive Moorish paper terrorists usually end accused for tax fraud, illicit trespassing into vacant housing, filing bogus liens and lawsuits against officers and prosecutors. Paper Moors, internet, he called these niggas this, cyber Moors. Cyber Moors. before I move forward, I want to just kind of make myself clear. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. My bad. I forgot I updated my computer, so I need to change what I gotta do. I gotta do something with my settings so that I can get my camera to work. All right, so real quick, I want to say this. I wish I could turn my camera on, but I got to do all this other shit. I don't feel like doing right now. So these dudes been crooks. Like I don't understand what we got going on right here. They been crooks. So what some of y'all are going to see tomorrow is once again another stupid, uneducated, poor research methodology, failed attempt to prove the argument hold on, y'all. That we are Moorish Americans. He's going to argue that. He is. So, with that being said, I want to tell y'all something real quick. Let me see. Didn't work. All right, so I want to tell y'all something real quick. They have no history. They have no culture. They have no existence. They have contributed absolutely dog shit to the world and to North America. I'm speaking to the sector of Black Americans who wants to go under and identify as Moorish Americans or identify as Black, Indian, Aboriginal, Indigenous Americans. I don't give a fuck what they name themselves. They have contributed zero to the progressiveness of not only American history, but any history. I know y'all like, what you saying, Sean? What do you mean? They ain't contributed anything. Well, we're gonna take a look at 5 ancient Native American inventions that are still used in the modern world today. 5. Not a PNF, not an AP, not an A1, not a Dan Calloway, not the research guy, not a 111 Truth, not Hawk School, not Smoke Signal, not none of these motherfuckers have ever mentioned it. So we're gonna deal with it. Published in CNN. Look at these people. This is 1929 photo. A 1929 photo. Since they like lookership so goddamn much, that don't look nothing like them. None of them. Oh, they call these people immigrants. They said these the fake Indians. The people whose genetic history we have. I ain't even gonna read none of this shit. I'm just gonna start getting into this real deal right here. Look. What y'all think this is? This is one of their inventions, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they survived the snow. Before we got all them goggles we got today, that's how they survived the snow. These were Eskimos. Look. The Inuit Eskimo. You know, the ones that I told y'all about before. Some of us. Look. Snow goggles is one of the inventions. They were invented by the Inuit and the Yupik Indians, the Arctic native people who live in modern-day Alaska. They're the Arctic native people. Look at them. Does this look like any of these dudes you see on YouTube on these channels? Come on, man. We gonna deal with evidence. We deal with evidence. We ain't doing with no speculation. Kayaks. Ladies and gentlemen, these Negroes don't know how to build no kayak. Why are we listening to them? They ain't got no culture. They ain't got no history. They ain't got no beliefs. Well, they do got, my bad. They don't have any ancient beliefs or creation stories. They don't. They're borrowing from other people. Peep game. The Native American stickball was not only a recreational sport, but a spiritual practice. They don't make these. They ain't told us shit about that. We think it's a stickball. We think that it's like stick hockey and some shit. Hell no, it's got significant spiritual meanings as well. What are we talking about? Lacrosse, yeah. Moving on, hammocks. You know, the white people love to get them a hammock nowadays, you know what I'm saying, in their backyard and chill out, right? That's cool. Build your hammock, get with it. But that led to this shit. How to get across shit. Suspension bridges. Shout out to them. But who did that? The fucking Incas. The Incas. Come on, man. Those are the five things, ladies and gentlemen. The art, if you want to read this shit, that's what it is. Those are the 5 things. Now, I know somebody heard me. Well, somebody saw me say this in the chat, and I'm gonna elaborate on what it is. But when I told y'all before, like these dudes ain't gave nothing to the world, I'm finna show y'all why. I said this. I said that the corn that we see is a hybrid. It ain't even the indigenous corn. It's a hybrid from 5,000 years ago. So if they've been here in the Americas, and they are so-called indigenous and aboriginal Black Americans, can you please explain to me? Can you please, I'm just asking, can you please explain to me, right? How the fuck are y'all not telling us that the corn that we got today is a hybrid that was created 5,000 years ago in Mexico? See, we deal with evidence. We ain't speculating. We ain't doing none of the crazy stuff. We just gonna get to it. Maize is one of the world's most widely grown crops. It is used for both human and animal foods and holds great cultural significance, especially for the indigenous peoples in the Americas. Yet, despite its importance, the origins of the grain have been hotly debated for more than a century. Now, new research published December 1st. Yeah, we in December 1st, right? And science shows that a modern maize descends from a hybrid created over 5,000 years ago in Central America, thousands of years after the plant was first domesticated. The work has implications both for improving one of the world's most important crops and for understanding how the histories of people and their crops influence each other. It's a new model for the origins and spread of maize and how it became a staple across the Americas. For the last few decades, the consensus has been that maize was domesticated once from a single wild grass called teosinte in the lower lands of southwest Mexico 9,000 to 10,000 years ago. Known as corn in the United States, maize is not only a staple for diets around the globe, but also can be processed into sweeteners, ethanol fuel, and other uses. More recently, though, it's become clear that the genome of modern maize also contains a hefty dose of DNA from a second tail site that grows in the highlands of central Mexico. You see how DNA works? This dumbass nigga said that the information is 7 years old. Listen, dumb nigga, come teach. Show me the information from 7 years ago. Show it to me. Come on. Show it to me. Come on, original one. You pulled up your pseudo ass. You ran from every one of them posts I posted. You ain't have no comment for none of it. Pull up. Pull up. 7 years old, nigga. The research just dropped today. "7 years old, and the research just dropped today, y'all. You just heard me reading the article. Now, these new findings, it says these new findings suggest that though maize was domesticated around 10,000 years ago, it was not until 4,000 years later when it hybridized with Highland Tessonite that maize really took off as a popular crop and food staple." We ain't never heard no one in the Aboriginal indigenous community ever talk about maize being hybridized. Never. Ever. The new crop spread rapidly through the Americas and later worldwide. Today, about 1.2 billion metric tons in harvested search year globally. Now the nigga ain't got nothing to say. He come in the chat. He been listening. He says something stupid. Oh, this is 7-year-old information. Where is the 7-year-old information? Go find it. Bring it. Let's talk about it. Because why do I have an article that just recently dropped dealing with the science? This ain't in no he said, she said. This is published in a science magazine. Let me be a little bit more clear, bro. Let me take you to the published article, bro. Since you want to open your mouth. Science, December 1st, 2023. 7 years ago? This research just came out. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This research just came out. And they break it down. Moving on. Remains of 5 Native Americans returned home after 120 years after graves were looted. I'm not going to play the video. You can. It's in the description of this. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let it be what it be. But I'm going to try to see if I can...
A Native American tribe in Minnesota recently welcomed home 5 of its ancestors, more than a century after their remains left the state. Their burial sites had been looted by a white landowner who took them to Connecticut. The remains sat in a basement until state officials stepped in, hoping to right a wrong. As Native American Heritage Month comes to a close, reporter Kayomi Lee of Twin Cities PBS has this story.
On this October day, despite the bitter wind and cold, a homecoming occurred. Some 120 years after being removed from their graves in Minnesota, 5 Dakota ancestors finally came home. Dozens of members of the Prairie Island Indian community gathered at a burial site an hour south of Minneapolis. It was a sacred ceremony, one we were not allowed to film. The ancestors were carried down the hill as drums rang out. A ceremonial fire was lit, and their remains were placed on scaffolding in the open air. This lasted 4 days, as is custom, until their final burial.
It's a feeling of excitement for many.
Frankie Jackson is with the tribe's Historic Preservation Office and was one of the organizers.
What it allows them to do is to come together as community and put together this burial practice to welcome relatives back.
It's an unusual story. There aren't many instances where human remains that were excavated in the 19th century have survived this long.
Historian Paul Maravellis researches the area where the ancestors originally were buried, Lake Minnetonka, on the western outskirts of Minneapolis.
Lake Minnetonka has a heavy concentration of mounds. Some archaeologists claim that it's one of the most dense areas of mound building in the southern Minnesota.
In 1875, an attorney from Connecticut named Carrington Phelps acquired an entire island on Lake Minnetonka. He renamed it Phelps Island and built a lodge. It was also home to 2 Native American burial mound groups. The lake was considered sacred to the Dakota and other tribes who used it as their final resting place.
Almost 500 mounds at Lake Minnetonka that were counted and mapped in the 1880s. Most of these were excavated at Lake Minnetonka by 1890. There wasn't a sense that they should be preserved as we think today.
And also, were they novelties, souvenirs, people grave digging?
Absolutely.
In 1902, Phelps lost ownership of the island. He had already moved back to Colebrook, Connecticut a few years earlier. It's believed he took with him Native ancestors who were buried on the island. Their remains were given to the Colebrook Historical Society a decade ago when his descendants sold the house. According to the Colebrook Historical Society, the family made no effort to hide the fact that he brought the bones back after he destroyed the mound. Over the years, they showed them to people as if they were souvenirs. They eventually made their way to the Connecticut State Archaeology Office. That agency complied with a federal law called the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. It requires institutions that are federally funded or located on federal land to identify and return indigenous ancestral remains and objects to the native nations to which they belong. But 33 years after it became law, anthropologists like Carleton Shield Chief Gover says compliance is falling short.
Museums have too much stuff that has remained unanalyzed and unstudied since it was recovered in 1930s, 1940s, and no one's touched it since. We still have so much stuff that has remained unanalyzed.
A ProPublica investigation this year found that a handful of American institutions, including prestigious museums and government entities, still had not repatriated large numbers of Native American ancestors. The law doesn't address Native remains in private collections, as was the case with these ancestors. That helps explain why it took so long to return them to Minnesota.
The relatives that are coming back here now is just one example of the tribes working collectively to reconcile relatives outside of Minnesota.
Frankie Jackson says bringing home their ancestors has been rewarding and worth the effort.
To play just a small role in that is incredibly rewarding and satisfying. But more importantly, for the Dakota Oyate that reside here in Minnesota, it's one of those ultimate acts of sovereignty to be able to reclaim our relatives in this way.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Kaomi Lee in Welch, Minnesota.
So again, these abos have no existence. They are borrowing from other people. They don't know who the fuck they are. They want to be more. Listen, this whole Aboriginal movement is being masked under the gist of Moors. Why you think they selling these goddamn doctrines, ID doctrines and shit? They running around here selling this fake paperwork shit still. They selling fake paperwork. And then they're trying to claim the ties of fucking people who predate our black asses by thousands of years. Thousands of years. So now we take a look at 73 pre-Inca mummies, some with false heads unearthed from Warrior Empire in Peru. several dozen burials from Wari culture, which is not fucking black people. Wari culture, which proposed in the region before the Inca took over, were unearthed in Peru. Archaeologists in Peru have unearthed burials of at least 73 people dating around 100,000 years ago. My bad. Y'all really thought it said 100,000 years ago because I said it? No. It really just say 1,000 years ago. I just wanted to, I wanted to help the eyeballs be like, see, Sean said it right here at this point. 100,000 years ago. No, nigga, 1,000. A few hundred years before the Inca took over parts of Western South America. Each of the 73 individuals was bundled in fabric, some of it colorful, and rope. Some of the male and female bodies were buried wearing masks of carved wood and ceramic, which are known as false heads. Pause. So, Sean, you telling me that they found 73 that 73 individuals was bundled in fabric, some of it colorful. These bodies were 1,000 years old? Yes. Why are you saying that? Because there was no Columbus. There was no Portuguese. There was nobody. No Spanish, no Portuguese, no Dutch, no British, nobody 1,000 years ago. None of them. So who were these people 1,000 years ago that you have this evidence for, bearing these false heads? So through archaeological research at the site, and an archaeologist at the Pontifical Catholic University of Peru said in a post, which is managed by the Faculty of Archaeology of the University of Warsaw, colorful ceramics were also found in some of the graves. The burials discovered near Lima at the archaeological site of Panchacamac belong to the Wari culture. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't know who the Wari culture is? Let me show y'all again. Let me show y'all for the people who never seen these people before. We're going to look at some of the culture right here. And then I'm going to pull up the people. I want to slowly just show you some of the stuff that they found in regard to the Wari. Now that you see some of this on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, let's go look at the people. What do they look like, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, do they look like PNF? Since they love to do lookership, do they look like Autochthonous One? Oh, since they love saying this, that, and the third. Oh, do they look like Air Power? Let it be, let it be, let it be. No, I don't want to click on the images. This is what y'all do. Y'all do surface level shit, start pulling up pictures and things of that nature. Okay. Okay. This is listen, look. When you start dealing with shit, bro, you start digging. When you start digging, doing primary shit, look at these. Listen to what I want to say. Told you there was black people. Look, they go to black people. They go to black people. Wari tribe, deep in the Amazon. This y'all? This the elbows? You sure? Because if you miss this up, these people right here, you're gonna find out something. Kawari tribe, Papua New Guinea, Cannabis, Fiji. You better be careful with this. Paper's life. You better be careful with this. You better be careful. That's why I left it on the screen. They better be careful. If they think that them little Aborigines is the warrior, be very, very, very careful. You're gonna F up. Cause look, they're also, this is the Amazon right here. They practice cannibalism. Cannibalism, they'll eat you. They'll eat you. Play with them if you want. Back on course. The Wari are known for their well-preserved mummies, elaborate art, including intricately designed ceramics and fabrics. They also practiced human sacrifice and made use of hallucinogens during religious rituals. See, this is an example of the carved head right there. Newfound wooden staves. Additionally, archaeologists found 2 wooden staves near the cemetery in the remains of a nearby settlement. They were discovered in a deposit of thorny oyster shells that would have been imported from what is now Ecuador, which sits north of Wari Empire. The blog post stated the 2 staves have carved iconography that suggests the people of the Pacamac had some level of contact with people in the Tiwanaku Kingdom, located to the south of Wari Empire, in what is now part of Peru, Bolivia, and Chile. Pick it up, read the article. Pick it up, read the article. I'm telling y'all. So they continue to find bodies that exist of people who've been here. So I don't know what he's trying to pull, but tomorrow, if YK, if you watching this, if you don't pull this video up, and if you don't use this Moorish American proving his Africanness and putting him in compromise with that sorry ass motherfucker named PNF, you tripping, bro.
I would have had it on hand. You claimed, you told him.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna eject you and let him teach this DNA lesson in a minute.
Okay, I see it now. Good.
Okay, so it shows 100% of the D. That's the second part, and then the first part shows the first part. So you can put them right side by side if you like. And what it will read is, let me just go to the live screen on it. I'm on that I hear my email.
I hope he's
what it reads is, it says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 86.2%. African hunter-gatherer, 3.4%. Broadly Sub-Saharan African, 2.0%. European, 6.5%. British and Irish, 2.1%. Scandinavian, 1.3%, et cetera, all the way down. So it's the full 100% of my DNA. With every quantum, what you're asking. Hold on. It's also breaking down the countries highlighted on there and the parts of the country that are highlighted on there. Like I always state, I don't claim the Moabite part because as you can see, it's blank for me. It doesn't show that I'm from the Canaan or the Moabite, so I don't profess that part of the history because that does not pertain to me through my DNA, which is what I always stated. Also, on the second email that I sent to him is the full chronological breakdown of the ancient DNA. So if you go to the ancient DNA of where there was...
Ain't no goddamn ancient DNA, bro. Your DNA ain't leading to ancient DNA, bro. You pulled up a whole nother source to try to solidify the existence of a so-called link to the fucking Moroccans. Mind you, that Moroccans looked at people in sub-Saharan Africa in a very negative connotation. I don't know why you did that shit, but you did, Ishmael Bey. But you exposed yourself when you put your DNA on the screen and it said 89% 80-something% West African, but 91% African. 91. So there's no way on the face of this earth you could be a Moorish American with 91% African ancestry, brother. And you're not alone. Because many of the people that you hang with that are claiming the Moorish identity, you know, the other bays and shit like that, they just like you. I ain't never seen this much denial of being an African American in my life. But now you got this new age Negro that YK the Truth decided that he would waste his time debating, which he should not be debating. He should be teaching. That says shit like this.
We put it in that perspective. Ish is going to mean son because it also means husband. So if more means God, is that the husband of God? No, it don't make sense because when you look through our history, you always see more with his mother or Madonna and son, Mary and son. So now we is able to put two and two together that, okay, if more mean God, what God is it? It's Mary, mother God. So we're letting you know more ish, right? Of God. Where is God? God is everywhere. It's not no particular location. So they're going to try to say, okay, if Britain is Britain, Spain is Spain, where is more? Where is more? We can look at it two ways. America is the land of, hold on. America is the land of God. So by saying, hold on, bro. It ain't even that.
Let him finish. I'm gonna let you get your slight rebuttal in. I got you.
I got to break this down. This is a serious word.
Take notes. Yeah, I want y'all to take notes. You ain't got to cut people off. Take notes. Take your notes and respond properly. That's going to be one of the key points. That the flow of rebuttal in this next debate, I think it's going to be fire. Let's go.
Yeah, we don't got to rush into this, man. This the face off. So they're gonna try to hit us with the ish of this, of that. So where will more be at? We've already established that Amaru Muru, Moro means God. So America is the land of God. So my ish is pertaining to God.
Where the meaning of America. They got the goddamn name America from white people. Let's do Amaru. Nope, that's Swahili. Can't use that shit. Here we go. Native American origin. It means serpent in the Kachu. The Kachu. It's also the name of a deity represented as a winged snake with crystalline eyes, reddish snout, llama head, and fishtail. Symbolizes for fertilization of the earth, and it said that all life is written in Amaru's scales. In Islam, it means more moon of the religion. So does Amaru mean America? True origin of the name America. See? This is where they get this shit from, y'all. Look. Look who is teaching them this shit. Kareemio. That ain't in Noble Drew Ali's bullshit. We just pulled the shit. We just got a synopsis of what the more shit is about. We just got a synopsis. We dealt with this already. We just sit here and went through this fucking shit. We know for a fact what Noble Drew Ali did. Noble Drew Ali borrowed from two people that were influential to him, and that was Suleiman and fucking Marcus Garvey. What are we talking about? What are we dealing with? So how the fuck is this some shit talking? Come on, man.
God who was all through here. And water is another name for God. It's an element of the gods. It's considered God. So check this out. When we saying Moorish, we going back to the God. And the exact location is America because that's the agreed name for this continent. So we going back because we as a spiritual based people and we know more mean God. We saying our ish is God. More ish just like God. Where at though? In America. So we are a deeply spiritual people, and he did not body me with that. A lot of these dudes out here, they really think they didn't caught me up with that. Oh, but where's more at? You put two and two together now. I'm sure you comprehend that.
All right, brother. Wake, it's your turn to you get the floor, brother.
See, remember when I told you that I ain't got no worries because everything he say just checks itself because I'm playing chess right now. That's exactly what I wanted him to say, right? So now check this. Since he said, so now we know he believes more means mother God, right? Now, if more means mother God, does that make you a pagan? Islam says there's only one God, and that's Allah. So are you a pagan? Do you have more than one God?
Is that the question?
Hold on. I'm not finished. So you a pagan then? Because you believe in a mother God and you believe in a man God. So you fucked up. But go ahead. Try to get yourself out this one.
All right. That's not true, y'all. First of all, you got to look at the language where we're using. You have to pay attention to Noble Drew Ali. He debunks these dudes every day.
So if we're supposed to pay attention to Noble Drew Ali, and in Noble Drew Ali's teachings, he tells us, right? He tells us, he said we need to pay attention to Noble Drew Ali. We just read in his teachings where he got his shit from. We did. Do we need to reread this shit? Because he said right here, the theologically Drew looked to Abdul Hamid Suleiman's Canaanite temple novel blueprint of a black Islamic masonry. Though Drew substituted Suleiman's Mecca with Morocco as the main cosmological center of spiritual power. Not America, Morocco, which he changed the name to instead of Mecca. Drew appropriated Suleiman's taxonomy that bifurcated Islam for blacks and Christianity from whites. This unique Mohammedan Messianic nexus premised on a romanticized Pan-African and Pan-Islamic genealogical identity anchored the MSTA ideology. He told us that Drew Ali debunks people. If his doctrine is based off two principles that influenced him to elevate that, go ahead and let's see if he stands on the teachings of Drew Ali.
First of all, he said the old time religion. So if you look at the old time religion, it is not what these Arabs teach today. It is not what these Muslims teach today. And I promise you, a Pan-African cannot even give you a glimpse of what they taught back then. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not.
I just basically gave you a glimpse of what they taught back then. We just basically went through and saw that he borrowed from Suleiman, who and what Suleiman taught, and how he was inspired by Garvey, and how that was transpired and influenced in his teachings. How the fuck are we able to go back and do that? Because we have the fucking evidence. For those of us who have read the bullshit Circle 7 Quran and seen it get debunked, and even goddamn Reggie beat the shit up in a debate, what are we dealing with at the end of the day? Why are you making claims and you insinuating and infusing your ideology on us? Because you're ignorant and you're not privy to what we're privy to, player. Remember, we don't do unbiased research. And we don't do biased research. We do the research that is required to argue from both sides, which makes it unbiased research, which you don't do. That you said that we don't do. That's why I initially said that we don't do, because that's what you infused on us. You said we don't do it, and we showing you that we do, because we don't have no problem in going in your doctrine and learning about what your teacher teach, and then extracting those teachings and being able to argue those teachings with you and putting you in complete compromise with your teacher and your entire MSTA. Hold on.
Not no pagans, because we is on point what we saying. God means, in our definition, it means one who rules the land. That's what it means to us. So he's taking this word God and he's putting it all over the place to confuse you. We use the terminology creator and Elohim, the seven eyes of Allah, the seven eyes of the all-seeing eye, the extension of the all-seeing eye. We use terminology like that, like the creator and God.
Bruh. That ain't no motherfucking American shit. Bruh, listen, bro. Listen. If you don't know when your shit made up, bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Your shit made all the way. We just sit here and we just read through all this shit showing you that Drew made the shit up, bro. He made it up, bro. So why is you of the belief of some shit that he just made up? You believe what he said according to what he said. He didn't show you shit. Drew never showed anyone evidence of such. He made a whole bunch of claims on top of claims on top of claims on top of claims. He never qualified none of the shit that he was claiming by showing you this. How the fuck is he teaching you something without proving it? You goddamn internet Moors?
God for separate purposes. So we're able to distinguish Mother God, the physical aspect, and the spiritual creator who brought us here through the so-called immaculate conception with Mary, Mother God, because we recognize
now on the immaculate conception happened. Time out. Now you're in complete total how I want to say this. You're compromised. Here's how you're compromised, because you just made it religious as fuck. Not only did you make it religious as fuck, you just debunked, you just put a hurting on a primitive one's whole belief system, because primitive one believes you motherfuckers came from the ground. Now you're teaching, now you're stating that Mary Mother God had an immaculate conception. So now you mean to tell me that you Negroes come from a woman that's supposed to be a black woman by the name of Mary, who had an immaculate conception here in the Americas, nigga? In the Americas, nigga? What kind of weed you smoking, bro? I need to be selling it. What kind of weed you smoking, bro? I need to be selling it. I'm finna go cop about 100 pounds of it and distribute the fuck out of it to everybody that I can. I want everybody as high as you. What kind of weed are you smoking? I need to invest ASAP. Because if it got you that far out there in space, I need everybody there. I need everybody there. I need cash apps from every goddamn body. Everybody. I need y'all that high.
Recognize that our mother is not a slut. We recognize our mother is not a.
This nigga said our mother is not a slut. How you know what your mother is? You don't know how many niggas she been getting that pussy to? You don't know.
Mother God, because we recognize that our mother is not a slut. We recognize our mother is not a prostitute that some man can just do something with. So we love our mother so much, we believe her story that she don't know how she got pregnant.
She didn't tell you that. How you believe your mother so much? She ain't your mother. Mary is not your mother, brother. Mary is not your mother. How the fuck did Mary become your mother, brother? I'm confused.
Got pregnant. You understand? And that's being sarcastic. But that's what we know of Immaculate Conception. And through Mary Madonna, Mary and her child. That's her story. Ma, how did we
bro, how the fuck is you on some Mary? Mary had a little lamb, nigga. Fleece was white as snow. The bitch had a little lamb. What the hell she got to do with you?
You here. Right. Nobody out here can explain where women come from, but we know where we come from. You know what I'm saying? So that's not no pagan. That's the old time religion. Because if you think about it,
that's not no pagan. That's that old time religion. No, but Drew Ali don't even teach that, brother. He don't teach that Mary had a little lamb. So why is you teaching some shit that he ain't even teaching, bro? Them ain't even in his teachings. Where is that in the Circle 7 Quran? Where is that?
Allah wasn't a man back then. It was Allah or the moon god, A-L-L-A-T. So
so now Allah wasn't a man then. It was the moon god. So the moon god, yeah, listen to this shit, yo.
L-L-A-T. So the prophet took us back to our old time religion. They had the mothers and had a 360 idols, so-called idols with different names for mother, for different names of God. And that's when I'm gonna introduce y'all with the
300 and something. Listen. He finna say he did this. This his shit. Listen.
Buddha, with the different Buddha understanding and a hand of God that I'm gonna show y'all directly connected to the Olmecs. You see what I'm saying? So the old time religion versus his new modernized Arab religion is what he teach, because that's all Pan-Africans do. They teach everything the Europeans authorized. And after this debate, we're gonna be questioning a lot of these dudes.
All right. So what you're doing right now, you're basically like the Christian that don't want to accept the Old Testament because you're not real enough to live by those laws. And nowhere does the Noble Drew Ali say forget about the Old Testament. I mean the old ways. You making that up like you always do. You make shit up, and I'm gonna let everybody know that you made it up now. So basically, to all my Muslims out there, he's basically saying that Allah is a moon god. That's what he just said. So 1 minute he said, look how silly he is. One minute he says it's not really a god, but then he turn around and say, but it is a god. It's just a female god. After all of that, you just turned around and said the same thing that I said. So is Allah a female or is he a male? Because you basically saying Allah. You're playing with his name. Now I got another question that ties in to this, because this is all surgical, right? So now that we know that you're dealing with the Bible and the mythologies that go with Noble Jew Ali, right? Now, do you follow the biblical teachings of Noble Jew Ali? Do you believe that the biblical Moabites are from Canaan? That's my question.
Last one, I think you said the biblical Moabites are from Kenya.
Canaan. Do you believe?
Are you sure you want to hold these questions?
Nah, it's okay.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh yeah, you're asking him that, but it's a lot of misunderstanding and misinterpretations on a lot of things, and I just understand our Black Pan-African brothers don't. So Canaan is another name for Krishna, and Krishnaites predate Negro Christo or Jesus Christ.
Canaan is another name of what? You see how religious he just made this shit?
And brothers don't. So Canaan is another name for Krishna, and Krishnaites predate Negro Christo or Jesus Christ. So Krishna is actually a blue black man.
Negro, hold up. This is the part where I lost it. He called this nigga blue black, bro.
Be a blue black man.
Who is the fuck is a blue black man?
And brothers don't. So Canaan is another name for Krishna, and Krishnaites predate Negro Christo or Jesus Christ. So Krishna is actually a blue black man.
Krishna, blue black man. Let's look that up. Where is he getting this from? Where is he getting this from? Krishna is a blue black man. Just so y'all know where he going. It's very obvious that Hinduism is mixed up in his shit. The etymological speaking, the Sanskrit word Krishna means black or dark, not blue-black. At times, it also translates to all attractive. According to Vedas, Lord Krishna is a dark-skinned Dravidian god. Even in traditional Pata, Chitras, in Odisha, Lord Krishna, Vishnu, are always shown having black skin. So where the fuck does this blue come in at? Some are of the opinion that the bluish tinge in Lord Krishna's skin is not the color of the material body, but the eternal spirit body of the Lord that emits blue aurora. I'm not finna get into this bullshit. What the fuck? What the fuck is this nigga on, bro?
And he had his own movement that dealt with something we call the yoni or the lingam or the lingam. We can go and look up what a lingam is. So a Christianite or a Canaanite are the followers or devotees to that particular deity. Morocco is also a deity that I'm going to introduce to y'all. That was a Naga. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is
Morocco was a Naga?
We named ourselves after a god. We didn't have these rinky-dink names these people got. Everybody had a different name for God. That's why Muhammad destroyed the 360, because it represented each day of the year and a different name for God with one in the center. So what I'm trying to say, y'all, man, is he's trying to talk about Canaanite, Moabite like they just some rinky-dink biblical figures, but he's looking at it from a brainwashed, indoctrinated English perspective with a slave.
He keeps saying, this is the shit that pisses me off, because he keeps saying this.
But dude, a slave would go up in there and hear a few things from his master and then run back. See, son, nah, son, it says it right here. Y'all under Canaan. but he can't, do extensive research and really comprehend what they mean. You know what I'm saying? Now, is Canaan a location? Is Canaan an extended satellite country to another central place? Yes, it's all over the world, all over the country, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly how biblicist in the center of biblification, if you might want to call it that. How what they're gonna tell y'all where Canaan is at and what Moab is. I'm gonna use your source, and then I'm gonna go into Noble Drew Ali and show y'all what he actually meant by Moabites inhabiting Northwest Africa with the Canaanites, etc. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna break it down.
All right, cool. Now, basically, in the beginning, I simply said I'm going to prove to you that he don't follow the teachings of the prophet. He's trying to make these people something they're not. He's making this shit up. He's freestyling. Now he's talking about Krishna. He's all over the place. He's making it up as he go. I asked the boy a simple question. I said, it could have been a yes or no question. I said, do you follow the biblical teachings of Noble Drew Ali? That the biblical Moabites are from Canaan. So your answer should have been whatever Noble Drew Ali believes, because this is something that he created. Nothing you said, the prophet said. He ain't say nothing about no Krishna, none of that shit. You making it up. Prime example, you are a fake Moor, bro. You just create shit up. You got a good imagination. You smoking some good gas, because the Noble Drew Ali don't say nothing you saying, bro. And I want you to bring it to the debate. If you saying that about Krishna, show me where Noble Drew Ali is talking about Krishna. That's in a whole nother location, bro. Now, last question, because I'm gonna save it for the debate, and I don't want to give the people too much. And hopefully, you will bring this to the debate. Can you show me where the ancient Moabites, aka Moroccan, had a word for America? And what is it? And this gotta be from a Moabite. And you better bring the language that they speak, because I'm pretty sure that the word more is with English alphabets. So you better show me some letters in some other languages, bro. Since you want to talk about me, because that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna try to say, well, all YK sources is from the English, the white man. They don't know nothing. So I want you to show us those words in the Moabite language, in the Moorish language that speaks of America. So that means you shouldn't be bringing me no English letters. Okay, pal?
I don't comprehend nothing he just said, so you're gonna have to help me on this one.
The audience do. The audience do.
I'm actually being honest. I'm really being professional right now. So this is the type of stuff when I need help, I ask people to assist. That's it. I'm not being funny. I'm being realistic as possible. So if we can get another breakdown on that, or y'all can help, because there's several people up here, that would be great.
I believe he wants you to show him the word more in an extinct sub-language or dialect of the Canaanite languages.
No, I think he said American. He said American, I think. Find America and Moabite.
No, you said it right, Hawk. Hawk, you said it right, bro.
Right. In a more
because according to you, America means Morocco. So you still gonna have to hold that L, bro. You should have stayed home.
Okay. All right. If that's how you feel, like I say, I'm going to depend on the audience to use their discernment. I'm not thinking about him. I don't care what he thinks or no, but
you're going to depend on an audience that does not read, that does not study, that does not comprehend, that does not do non-biased research, that has no idea of what the fuck research methodology is, because you don't know what research methodology is. So you're going to depend on an overwhelming amount of people that's on this chat when he goes live with y'all to start this debate. You're going to hinge your belief in this so-called audience that's supposed to be a non-biased audience. You're going to hinge all your shit on that, on them. Because, you know, they just going to believe you because you debating YK, bro. They don't like YK. This ain't even a neutral platform. This ain't even what it's supposed to, like, man. I don't even want to say that. I don't want to say that. The problem here is this. Here lies the problem. Here lies the problem.
The second part, and then the first part shows the first part. So you can put them right side by side if you like. And what it will read is, let me just go to the live screen on it. I'm on that I hear my email.
I hope he
What it reads is, it says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there, 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6% West African.
91.6% West African. 91% West African. Ishmael Bey is a Moorish American. I'm gonna repeat this one more time. He claims to be a Moorish American with 91.6% West African ancestry. And he's living in America, has always been in fucking North America. He is from Syracuse. He doesn't hide who he is, and he's not like everybody. Yes, we know where Ishmael Bey is from, Syracuse. We know that he has a Caucasian wife. We know all of these things. These are not negatives. We just know who Ishmael Bey is. And he is a Moorish American. He follows the teachings of noble Jew Ali. He is also a paperwork pusher, but he put his DNA on file a long time ago before this little conversation with Chief X. Before the debate. He did all of those things. But you finna tell me, bro, that we are Moorish Americans and not African Americans, and your own Moorish American brother showed you that we have African ancestry, and his is 91%. Your teacher infused Pan-Africanism ideology as well as Suleiman's ideology, and then he changed a little emphasis from Suleiman from Mecca to Morocco. And you finna tell me that we are not African Americans when your own boys, it ain't just Ishmael Bey and all of those guys. It's the other Moorish dude. What's the light-skinned dude that be going to Morocco all the time and then acting like he got a free pass? What's his name? The one Sutek used to argue with all the time. What that old pseudo-ass dude name? He even goes to Africa. Yeah, the freckle-faced dude. What's his name, y'all? He a Bey too, I think. Yep, he is a Bey. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen a little yellow dude, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it before one of y'all say it. I got it. I'm finna pull it up. Y'all slow on the trigger, bro. Y'all supposed to know these pseudos, bro. That's how you know Sutek ain't in the chat. But Sutek was in the back chat talking his ass off. Now Sutek ain't in the chat. Cause their ass is on Twitter, bro. They on Twitter. I mean, not, yeah, Sabir Bey. Goddamn, you found it before I could see it. You said it before I could find it. Sabir Bey. That dude, Sabir Bey, knows Morocco is in Africa. This is how you know they're all over the place, because none of these dudes are dealing with Drew Ali shit. But they ain't even dissing Africa. Those older, more, it's PNF. It's the Aboriginal wannabe indigenous of America as dudes today that are pushing this narrative of anti-Africanism. Your teacher, your prophet, your father don't even say that shit. Fuck the debate. The shit's over before it even fucking starts. The debate is over before it even starts. If the debate title is who are the so-called Black Americans, African Americans or Moorish Americans, the only way to argue this is through genetics. And biologically, by and far, we took a fucking Moorish American and used his DNA to expose the whole get up. We don't need to argue with these fools. Show the evidence. Put it on the screen. Let him say it, YK, to the whole fucking audience.
6% Western Sub-Saharan African. That I
Listen.
verify email.
I hope he
What it reads is, it says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 86.2%. African hunter-gatherer, 3.
What are you, Ishmael Bey?
Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African.
What are you, Ishmael Bey? One more time for P and F.
Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 80. Verify email.
I hope he
What it reads is, it says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 86.2%. African hunter-gatherer, 3.4%. Broadly Sub-Saharan. Screen on it. I'm on that. I verify email.
I hope he
What it reads is, it says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 86.2%. African hunter-gatherer, 3.4%. Broadly Sub-Saharan African, 2.0%. European, 6.5%. British and Irish, 2.1%. Scandinavian, 1.3%, et cetera, all the way down. So what it reads is, it says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. It says Ishmael Bey Muhammad. My picture's right there. 100% Sub-Saharan African, 91.6%. West African, 86.2%. African hunter-gatherer, 3.4%. Broadly Sub-Saharan African, 2.0%. European, 6.5%. British and Irish, 2.1%. Scandinavian, 1.3%, et cetera, all the way down. So it's the full 100% of my DNA. With every quantum what you're asking. Hold on.
What we talking about? What we talking about? The whole time, PNF is over there trying to push that we are Moorish American. His own Moorish American brothers are showing PNF that no, bro, we have African ancestry. We ain't from America. But you know what? Because the Moorish American movement is being moved left and right, we just gonna ride with y'all, bro, so that there's no conflict of interest, and we can just say, we'll just let y'all say whatever. And when y'all get caught up in y'all shit, we ain't gonna say nothing. But watch this though. Hold up.
Talking, bro.
This nigga told YK the truth that he don't know how to be quiet. He don't like to listen. The whole entire time, this motherfucker has been talking out the side of his neck. YK has been quiet over and over. This is an hour and 16 minutes into this bullshit, and we didn't hear more from this motherfucker than we have from YK the truth. He barely. Where is this in the Circle 7 Quran? Where is he getting this shit? Listen, bro, the answer to the fucking question is I don't know. The answer, one more time, the answer to the question is I don't know. Why is he trying to justify this shit? Why? There's no reason to try to justify this shit. It is easy. I don't know. Just say you don't know. Move the fuck on, and you ain't dragging us fucking out. No, I ain't sharing it because I ain't want y'all to hear that shit, man. But I'm gonna play it back for you niggas, bro. Here you go.
Because I am not doing no debate to prove you no Moorish American.
I know you're not, because you a liar.
Like,
That's all
you are
do is
not a
stop.
Moorish American, buddy. Like, stop it. Like,
Nah,
you a
bro.
teller. You are not an
just hope the
American.
real
You are
ones
a
see it,
teller.
though. I hope
You
the
are
real
no
ones-
American
I
on
got
no
another
level.
question, though.
None.
I got another question.
Zero
for you.
level, Famo.
I got another question for you. Do both Moors and natives descend from Shem?
That's a good ass question, but I sincerely doubt it, being that our mothers and fathers is older than Shem. Our ancient mothers and fathers, that's just one man. And we all have mothers that's older than the men they give birth to. So I believe that's why we lean on the word Moorish a lot, because we depend on the matriarchal bloodline. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know that question, man. Maybe Shem is related through Jerusalem and Solomon and those stories, maybe. But as of right now, I'm not ready to prepare to answer that, man.
Save it for the debate, because that's gonna be one major thing that's gonna destroy you, bro. That right there is gonna be.
Okay, says who though? Who are you to determine what's major? Who are you?
I'm gonna tell you why. If you look at the Bible, these people.
What are you talking about?
Hold on, bro. Now hear me out. According to this is why I asked you, do you go by the biblical, like Noble Drew Ali? So if you believe that the more, right, and then the natives are from, because you believe that the Moors and black all the same shit. So which one come from Shem?
You going
and
in and I hear you. I think you. I mean, what's the word? Staticky. That does something when you want to make your point. Because I might be responding to somebody in here.
You will see what I'm saying, bro.
No, I want you to keep repeating it until you say it correctly. Is what I'm saying. I really want to know what you're saying. I'm not trolling. Like, I'm being dead serious.
Yo,
like
does anybody get what I'm saying, bro? Ain't nobody on the panel understand what I'm saying.
My bad. I didn't hear you. What you said?
I said in the Bible that people begat one another. You get what I'm saying? So we know that Canaan is the son of Ham, right? This is according to the Bible. So I ask you, do you believe? Yo, my mic bad, bro. My mic bad.
It ain't no, you good. You good.
My bad. Maybe I'm too far away.
To me, is a later character. After who is that? What is it called? Shem, Ham, and Noah. Them. That's
this nigga don't even know. This nigga says Shem, Ham, and Noah, nigga. This nigga says Shem, Ham, and Noah, nigga. Ah, man, I hate the Bible so much. But how the fuck do you fuck that up? Shem, Ham, and Noah, nigga?
It's after the flood, right? And they repopulated.
Shem, Ham, and Noah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Why in the fuck did he say this dude don't even, bro? What we talking about, yo?
At the lands according to their story, and Japheth took Shem and the other guy's land. All these stories, right? So we will have to go in there with a dang on microscope and break all that down. But the basics of understanding the families and the charts and the offspring, a lot of that is accessible. And basic knowledge of Moab and Canaan and Missouri and Egypt. I mean, should I say Mizraim? This information is still on the surface where we can get it in Africa, America, and Asia. So I will be going through that as well, Moab and Canaan in the debate.
That's a waste of time. That's not
and putting an interpretation on it better.
That's not going to prove if we are Moorish Americans. It's not. It's not going to prove that. It's not. Why would you? Okay, YK, I'm expecting. I don't want to like say this, but I am expecting you to stamp how we defined ourselves in this debate. I don't give a fuck about none of the religious texts, the religious teachings, none of this. If the debate is who are the so-called blacks in Americas, or is it's African American versus Moorish American, who the fuck are we? You have to define who we are and use the evidence to substantiate that. He has no argument for some shit that was created in the 19th century. None. He can't argue shit that was created in the late 18th, 19th century and try to use that as a stepping stone or a barometer for the existence of what would be called Moorish American, because the word African predates the pretenses of the word. And he ain't dealing, if he deal with etymology, you know it's gonna be a fallacy. So you have to expose that. So now this I don't even want to listen to this no more. I'm sorry, I apologize. The more I listen to PNF talk, the stupider he sounds, and the dumb shit just pisses me off. There was an Amara Squad notification, bro. You sure about that? You sure about it? You sure there was an Amara Squad notification? Let me take a look and see. Let's see, privilege. Bro, the last show about Amara Squad was 2 months ago, and that was Dr. Ma'at, and Jonathan, and they had the Earth Speaks dude up there, and they were talking. That was the last live. Before that, it was a year ago when Bro Alk was in the house just talking trash. Then the last video upload was Ujawu advertising the Shemsu Heru book. Man, listen, the Amara Squad had a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of videos that would have ended a lot of this shit that's going on today when it comes to the Moors and all of that shit. Hold on, I'm gonna look for something real quick. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't play that. Let me go to the Nahisi channel real quick. Hold on, just a second. Nah, let me see what Big Bro Nahisi got. Let me see what the brother Nahisi got, man. Nahisi, aha. The no-fly zone. This is how I'm gonna end the show. I ain't gonna end just yet, but this is gonna be on the flip side. It's gonna be on the flip side. Right here.
Because we have not faced reality, because we as a people live in a world of fantasy. And once we face reality and use religions properly, and once we understand how they are used by other people, and once we separate, not so much as separate spirituality from religions, and understand that out of our spirituality came the world's religions, and that we have been naive and let people take from us the basis, the elements, make religions and come back and sell them to us. Once we understand that, and that we had a much better version of the same religions before their former creation, then once we recover from the shock of discovering that we had something better than what was sold to us, rehashed from our elements, then go back and take the great spirituality we had and move with it. And once we understand what we were and where we are, we will understand what we have to be and where we still have to go. We are still thinking minority when we were never a minority. But we are letting minority people fool us into thinking minority. And we are literally being controlled by minorities who endear themselves to other minorities by demonstrating their ability to control us. And they control us by manipulating images through politics, religion, in the mass media. All right. The subject, admittedly, is dangerous. As religion is a delicate and dangerous subject, and it's even more delicate and dangerous when you're talking to people of African descent. Because where religion is concerned, we are a purist people. We are the true believers. We out-Pope the Pope and out-Muhammad. We believe in things in its purest form, and we actually believe things are exactly what they say they're supposed to be. We have a humanity that actually makes us believe that people believe in democracy, and the inventors of it don't believe in it. And we had democracy before they think they invented it. And when they invent a fake version of it and sell it to us, we accept the fake version and neglect the genuine democracy that we have been living all along. Not only democracy, but humanity. And the least significant event would be the so-called discovery of the New World. The greatest event in the history of that period would be really the Africans and the Arabs, collectively called Moors, would lose their hold on Spain and be pushed out. Be pushed out of Spain, and they would lose the Mediterranean. They had blocked Europe in the Mediterranean. They had forced Europe out of the Mediterranean, and they had forced Europe into the Middle Ages. Now Europe had discovered longitude and latitude had come out of its box. They'd gone back to sea. They had learned some maritime techniques from the school at Salamanca, that the Africans had translated information from Spain, and they would turn on the very Africans who translated it for them and the very Arabs. The fight between the Africans and the Arabs would facilitate the rise of Europe. But except had the Africans and the Arabs got together at that point in history, fighting over various interpretations of Islam, they could have stopped Europe and stopped the slave trade, but instead of stopping the slave trade, the Arabs went into the slave trade, disgraced Islam, disgraced themselves, and left the African without protection, something which we should never forgive.
Something we should never forgive. And tomorrow, you should never forgive that lying ass motherfucker by the name of OLSPNF.
We are the victims of our own innocence. We didn't expect it. We were so unsuspecting. Some of us participated in it without knowing what we were doing. And to understand it, there's 200 years of history you're going to have to look at. 1400 to 1600. It's the major turning point in world history. At the end of these 200 years, the world would never, ever be the same again. Europe had come out of its bag. It had rescued itself at our expense. It had learned longitude and latitude again. Had learned how to helm ships. They had, in their search for Asia, and the spices and the sweets of Asia, they had discovered Africa en route, the greater prize. We are the victims of our own innocence. We didn't expect it. We were so unsuspecting. Some of us participated in it without knowing what we were doing.
Big guy, I got the game on the chokehold like a slip knot. Too much ambition, I got too much drive. I'm probably due for a pitch stop. Black dot, reppin' the team, reppin' the squad like a mascot. Yeah, I'm the one, you know that I got it, but I still speak for the have-nots. Big guy, I got the game on the chokehold like a slip knot. Too much ambition, I got too much drive. I'm probably due for a pitch stop. Black dot, reppin' the team, reppin' the squad like a mascot. Yeah, I'm the one, you know that I got it, but I still speak for the have-nots. Yeah. It's been a hell of a run. I done bagged all of the women I wanted to bag. I probably should slow down and settle with one. Probably should hit up my mama and tell her my problem. She always wanna pray for her son. Tell her I got it, it's nothing your God could do for me. I feel much more safe with a gun. Look what I've done, just look at what I've become. They thought I was stuck in the mud, I done came up. They got up here like I weigh. I made them double the funds. Niggas be hating, probably cause they wifey like me and she wanna give me the buns. She got a friend, told her that she can come too because two heads is better than one. My competition is none.